Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the April edition of the AnCan Art Friends. I know that you have wanted to do something that would make your soul sing or tweet, and so we are offering that today with our beautiful watercolor pencil painting. So, Hannah, would you please come, as you always do, very colorfully, and share with us what we are creating today?
Thank you. Thank you, Alexa. Welcome to class today. We're going to be painting a birdie. I aptly titled this painting Birdie Birdie. I hope you guys have fun with it. We're gonna be using watercolor pencil today. Thank you so much, Alexa. So, little story time, okay? Just a quick one before we start. For anybody watching the recording, okay? I must have left this painting in the coffee shop that I created it at. So this is why Alexa is being the amazing producer that she is. She's going to be displaying the picture that I must have taken in the coffee shop. She's going to be displaying that periodically throughout this painting. So go ahead and take a screenshot right now, or take a picture with your phone so that you have it whenever you need it. And again, Alexa will display it. Okay. So anyway, there's my little story. So it's springtime, guys. I don't know about you, but it's actually hot already here in San Antonio. But this birdie's happy to be here. And I will have to say, this painting is all about color and texture. Okay. So keep that in mind whenever we're drawing, whenever we're doing this painting, color and texture. Lots of that. Okay. I created this picture with a finch in mind. I was thinking like one of those cute little tiny little finches. I was looking through Pinterest and looking through all sorts of bird paintings, and I kept seeing finches, and I thought they're so cute. I want to paint one of these. So here we are. So we're going to be using watercolor pencils. However, I do know that watercolor pencils are not always your a very well-known art supply. They're super fun, and they can be cheap depending on where you get them from. So if you don't have them, bring out some watercolor paints and color pencils and use those instead. Okay. So I will show you how to do both methods. It's pretty easy. I would say it's pretty easy. So I will be doing this particular painting using watercolor pencils, okay? Because again, that is all I had on hand other than that Sharpie marker. So again, watercolor pencils. And I mentioned Sharpie. So I use the Sharpie, but you don't have to use Sharpie the brand, just as long as it's not something that's going to bleed with water whenever you put water on top of it. And this one's pretty thin, so I'm using a pretty thin one. Paper, I have here a pretty small paper. This one in particular is a square piece of paper, but that doesn't mean that yours has to be square, okay? It's just what I had at the time. So as long as it's small, that's totally fine. I typically have a sketchbook that's 9 inches by 12 inches. So you can certainly use one of those, but then fold it in half again so that you get 4 different sections, and then use one of those 4 sections. That's probably a pretty good size for this, but of course, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Okay, you use whatever size you feel comfortable with. Okay, so since we are using watercolors or watercolor pencils, I am going to use a brush and of course water and of course a napkin if you have that. Really, the only brush that I feel like I'm going to need personally is just a medium sized brush. So this one is like a size 6. So whatever you have that's around that is totally fine. So 4, even an 8 is fine. Whatever you have, that's totally fine. Let's count how many times I say fine today. A little counter. I think that's about it. I guess I'll go ahead and show you the actual paints. Well, not paints, the watercolor pencils. So this particular set, I actually got it from Dollar Tree. It was like $3 or something. So probably the cheapest watercolor set I've ever gotten. But honestly, just because it's cheap doesn't mean that it's a bad set. I actually feel like this one is more pigmented than some of the other ones that I've tried that cost more. But I also have more. I should have mentioned since we're using pencils of some kind, maybe have a sharpener on hand. So I'm going to set that sharpener aside and I will use that at some point. And I did mention that if you don't have those watercolor pencils, you can use a combination of color pencils plus regular watercolor paints, okay? So it doesn't matter if they are the cake type like this, these are the watercolor cakes, or it doesn't matter if they are the tubes, okay? As long as it's paint, you're fine. I mentioned water, I mentioned napkins. I think that's it. Do you guys have any questions at all for me? There is no such thing as a silly question or a stupid question. So ask me anything.
Do you know where I put my pencil sharpener?
Oh, that I don't know.
Makes two of us.
I wish I wish I could read people's minds. Can't do that.
How about what colors did you
Ooh,
use?
thank you. See, there we go. So for our little birdie, I used what was it? Where are my colors? Yellow. I use yellow. Duh, I'm wearing yellow. So I use yellow as my main birdie color. So that is kind of what you want to think about. Think of what main color you want for the body and the head, and whether or not you want those colors to be the same for your wings. That's really all we're going to be seeing. It's going to be the body and the head, and maybe just a small amount of wings, depending on how you draw it. It's up to you, though. So for our finch, I decided to put give it like a little black top. It's like it almost looks like a hat to me. I always want to call it a hat. It's not a hat. It's black feathers at the top, a yellow body, and then brown wings. Okay. I do have another example though that I would love to show you. So this one right here. This one, it's like I think I use like a orange body. Yeah, orange body, and then like a very light teal for the wings. Okay, so let me recap again. Head color, body color, wing color. Those are the most important things. And they can all be the same if you want them all to be the same. Head, body, wings. Any other questions?
I found my pencil sharpener.
Thank you. Excellent. I should mention that we also will have a lot of other random, well, maybe I shouldn't say random, whimsical colors. Why don't I call them whimsical colors? So these are the colors that you're just going to throw in there, perhaps on the body of your birdie, perhaps in the background. These are going to make your birdie feel more like a painting. So this one, for example, I've got my two background colors right here, but then I also have this teal color, and then of course a little bit of pink and a little bit of yellow. So those are just the things that are going to make our birdie pop. Okay. And I will show you how to use both methods just in case you don't have the watercolor pencils and you are using your regular color pencils and regular watercolors. I did this one with watercolors and color pencils. So that's why I say you can basically do the same thing. It's just two different things. So the marker comes in handy for all of those extra things. So the extra texture, extra little bits of background shapes, background whatever you want to put back there. That's going to be you. That's going to be the Sharpie marker. Anything else before we begin? Okay. If you guys need to take a look at the original picture, the yellow finch birdie, then please let us know, okay? You can just tell me or ask us to display the regular picture, regular example, and I'd be happy to do that, okay? I should have mentioned earlier that I might actually use a pencil for this. However, I don't recommend it just because it's super easy to focus solely on the pencil and then focus completely on getting perfect, air quotes, perfect lines for your birdie. And the focus here is the texture and the color. It's not the perfection that we're looking for. So whenever I did the original, I actually didn't use a pencil and pencil and eraser. I went straight for it using the color pencils. But you certainly can if you want to, okay? So, silly me. I was totally going to actually use a pencil this time, but I don't have a pencil on here. I have a pen. That's okay. If you were going to go straight into it and just go straight into drawing using either your color pencil or your watercolor pencil, then start with the light version of your birdie color. So let's say if I wanted to have a yellow finch, just like in the original, then I would use yellow as the thing that I'm going to use to draw it. So just to make things easy, I'll go ahead and use that yellow. Although I might actually switch because I want you guys to see it and you might not be able to see yellow. So we'll see how it goes. So yellow finch. This little guy here, I might actually put this little birdie aside because I don't want to confuse you guys. I am going to draw the yellow finch, okay? So please let us know if you need us to display that bird again, okay? I am going to start with the head first, and it's going to be very lightly drawn on there. Well, light for you guys, not for me, okay? And it's just going to be a circle, and then underneath it, it's going to be a bigger circle for the body. So I know I want my birdie to be looking that way. Of course, yours, it can be looking any direction. So here is a circle for the head. It's not too big, not too small. Notice how it is not a perfect circle. Because this is watercolor pencil, all of these lines will just wash away. And then underneath it, let's just do the beginnings of the little finch body. Never mind that it looks like a snowman. It looks like how you would build a snowman. We'll connect everything in a second. If you have any questions at all, please let me know, okay? Okay. So let's give our little birdie a little neck. So this little space in between, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of connect it with a soft line. Connect it with a soft line. And I know that our little birdie has some wings. And so since it's kind of looking not exactly forward, I think it's like, what do they call that? Like a 3/4 view, something like that. I am going to see a good portion of this wing on this side. So I am going to draw the beginnings of that wing. Now you are welcome to switch the color if it's going to be vastly different than the body color. So if your wing is going to be completely different, then you can switch that up. In the original picture, that wing is brown, yet I still sketched it out with using the same color for everything. And that's because this is such a light color. So it's a good thing you're using a light color. Now I do want a little bit of this wing to kind of peek through the side. So there's a little bit of the wing showing. I kind of tucked the tummy in just a little bit, give it more of a puffy chest. I might change that later though. We'll see. Now I'm just gonna draw an eyeball as like a placeholder, okay? So this eye, it may change positions, it may change shape. So here's one, here's another. It might change, we'll see. that I know it's going to be a dark color. So again, good thing that we are using a light color like yellow. Because that dark color will be able to go right on top of the light color, just in case we need to change it. And then right in between the eyes, I'm just going to draw a diamond shape. But then after that, we can shape the actual beak. So here's a diamond shape right in the middle. And your beak can be smaller, it can be bigger. Now I'm actually going to, for me, I'm going to switch colors because that's hard for even me to see. So I'm sure there are others struggling to see my drawing. So I'm going to switch to, I had an orange lying around here. Yeah, here's the orange. Okay. So here is that diamond shape that I mentioned. Now, my little birdie beak on the original picture, I have this line moving downward. I know this is very vague, okay? So I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. But this is the bottom. Like this is the, like the, about the mouth, I guess. Be the mouth right there. And then it also goes up like that. I know it's very vague, but our birdie is in a weird angle. It's just a very strange angle. Alexa, do you think you could show the picture again? Awesome, thank you. Oh, oops, did I click on something? Oh, there we go. Okay, so that little those two lines that I made moving downward, that is the mouth right there. It's where the two parts of the beak meet together. And then from that center, we're going to draw like that line that you see. And I know you guys can't see my cursor, but there's that line that's in the middle. So here it is on the picture. Just going to draw it moving up like that. Hope that makes a little bit of sense. If it doesn't make sense, it's okay to have a smaller beak. There we go. There's my little birdie. And then let's go ahead and draw what I had called the cap. So it's not really not a cap, the hat.
Hey, Anik, do you mind showing your drawing again, please?
Yeah, that one.
I mean, like your actual live drawing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
How do we take this off? There we go. Thank you, Alexa. So there's that line in the center.
So there was a minute, Hannah, when your drawing was up in the little corner, but the actual like beginning picture was in big. So is there a way to have that original picture up in the corner, like where my name and your name and Alexa's
Oh, I
name,
gotcha. Alexa
like just
said.
swap it so that we can see a little thumbnail of the picture, but your actual drawing bigger like it is right now. I don't know if I'm making
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. No, that does make sense.
Like this, but either way, Alexa.
Yeah, the other way, is that possible?
Right. So where the art cam is now, if you could,
I don't
yeah.
think we can do that.
Oh, okay.
I think you'd have to
It's
like
worth a
make the
shot.
picture your like a photograph for your like profile picture and then turn off your camera.
Oh.
I think that's how that would work.
Oh, well, you guys don't need to see my face. You can have me.
Well, by the way, I love your hair.
Oh, thank you. Yay. Oh, I guess you hadn't seen it yet.
I haven't. It looks amazing. I love it.
Thank you. Okay, so eye to see if I can put this birdie as my background, and maybe Alexa can do that.
I have it as my profile photo now.
Oh. Oh, there we go.
Perfect, Alexa. Thank you. That's
so
perfect.
cute.
Thank you for that. I
As long
appreciate
as
that.
I get a bird nickname for the rest of the class. That's all I ask.
We'll think about it.
What would you prefer?
Alexa?
What would I prefer?
Bird?
We can call you Bluebird or Robin or Tweety.
I will answer
Birdie.
to any bird name.
Birdie.
Polly.
Polly? No, maybe like
Polly want a cracker?
Okay, guys. Let's draw the little the black part of our little birdie's head here. So remember how I mentioned little eyes, like the eyes can be tentatively placed. Like now that I'm thinking about that black portion of his head, I feel like I might need to move the eyeballs down a little bit. And if you have an eraser, you might be able to try to erase it, but it may not matter. But that's okay. Now, even though it's supposed to be black painted in, I'm not gonna draw it that way. So I would say it should go like this. That black color will totally cover up anything underneath it. So why don't I do that? And so now I can fix the eye, have the eye lower. Much better. It's a little funny right now, but I can probably cement the place of this eye later. Just to make things even. Just fix that a bit. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with my birdie. Now, I'm not going to worry about anything going in the background just yet. I had done that later. So once I got most of my colors in for my actual birdie, like the birdie feathers and all that, that's when I decided to think about the background and what colors to use in the background. And I only say that because the birdie colors were more important to me than the background. Now, as for actually coloring it in, I already know that my main color is going to be that yellow. And what I love about watercolor pencils is that you could literally scribble, and once you put water on top of it, those scribble lines are going to melt away. Maybe not completely. So I am going to pay attention to how I'm scribbling. But for the most part, they should melt away with that water. And again, we will still be able to see some of those lines, but not all of them. If you happen to be using regular watercolors, not the pencils, then this is the part where you paint it in completely using the color that you want. So I would just paint this in yellow because that's what I want it to be. However, these are very strong colors, so I'm going to use more water than pigments, more water than yellow, okay? Because I want it to be lighter. So that's what I would do if I was using watercolor paints. But since I'm not using that, I'm going to scribble. But I'm going to scribble in the direction of my feathers. See that? Because I mentioned that my lines might still show, even just a little bit. And I want this wing to be a different color, so I'm not going to scribble yellow in there. Literally just scribble, scribble, scribbles. Put some yellow in the face. Even though on the original picture there are other colors on top of it, it looks like I'd put a little bit of brown, put a little bit of yellow, not yellow, orange in the face. I put that in later because it's a darker color.
Like, or sorry,
Mm-hmm.
Hannah, how hard are you pressing to make these marks? Are you putting a good amount of pressure in there?
It is a good amount of pressure. Yeah, for me it is. And I know that I want it to be bright yellow. I want it to be yellow, yellow. So that is why I am pressing down hard. So that's a really good question. If I wanted it to be just a small light tint of yellow, then I would press down lightly. So that's a very good question. Now I want to show my other example, the one that I showed you earlier. Little lovebird right here. I mentioned earlier that I had started out with one color, and that one color was light orange for this one, very light orange. And I wasn't using watercolor pencil. I was just using the watercolors. Maybe I should draw a separate one. That way you guys can see it. Unless, is there anybody who wants to see that process? I'm happy to show it. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, Sharon. Okay. I can do that. So then here's what you guys do. For those of you guys using watercolor pencil, go ahead and color in the top part if you're doing a finch, and then also color in the bird, the bird wing. Use your colors. So on the original, I used brown for the wing, and then for the hat, it's not a hat, the top portion, I use black, but it's light.
So just to let you know, I'm using watercolor pencils. I was just curious how you would go about using the watercolors.
Okay. Let me get this started real quick. This is how I would color in the wing. So continue that through the wing. And then the top, continue like that. So it's almost like it's moving with the roundness of the head. Although that little detail is not super important. As long as you get it in there, you're good. While you guys do that, I'll get started on the other one with the just watercolors. Just watercolors right here. Let me draw my little birdie. And since I cannot use the watercolor pencils, I'm going to use regular color pencil. Or pencil. Could use pencil, but I don't have it here. Silly me. Okay. I'm looking for my yellow color pencil. Here it is. All right. This is regular color pencil. Now I'm drawing it in again with regular color pencil. Okay. Now, for my watercolor people, I can take just my watercolor, take my brush. I have lots of water on my brush. I'm going to use a light amount of paint. Now, for those of you guys who are doing it the regular method with the watercolor pencils, I'll show you what to do in a second. But this is basically what you would do also, except you already have your lines on there. So let me just finish up coloring this in. Because I want it to be a darker color brown, I am pressing down hard. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the beak and the eyes just yet. Although if you did color it in, that's okay too. It's all right if it's already done. Just those smaller details, I do like to leave those for later just because they are small. So I'm going to take my brush that's now filled with water and I'm going to go right on top of it. And I'm going to move in the direction that I colored it in there. It's totally fine if you get a little bit of the color inside your beak. What I'm doing right now is making sure that all of my bird is covered in a color of some sort because I want to start big. That's what we're doing. We're starting big. And then later on, once we actually put the details, the other crazy colors on top of it, that's when we start to go small. There we go. It is okay if you cover up the eye completely. Now, since I'm using actual watercolors for this one on the left here, I'm gonna make it darker. It's my watercolor birdie. Just filling it in. Now for the wing, it's the same thing. I'm gonna rinse off my brush, put the color, or put the water right on top of the color. And this is a darker color, so I am able to see some of my marks a little bit better. Because like I said, it does melt them together, but not, like they won't go away completely. You can always adjust the size of the wings too. See right here, I'm just kind of adjusting the wing by spreading the brown backwards just a little bit. Ooh, I forgot to draw a little bit of this wing back here. Just a small amount that shows peaks behind the other side. So I put that in using my pencil. I'm going to use a brush to smooth it out. Now, even though this black area at the top here, even though it is black, yes, I'm still going to add colors like blue and purple to it, maybe a little bit of brown, just to connect the two portions of the bird. There we go. Now for the right side here, I'm going to fill in using regular watercolor. Fill it all in. I do have to say that the pencils, the lines that we put in later, it is going to bring everything together. So if your birdie's looking kind of funny right now, it's okay. It'll come together. Does anyone have other questions? Anyone want me to repeat anything? Okay. Cool. Has anyone done anything creative in the last month? Anything fun?
So I actually took a whole watercolor class at UTSA Southwest School of Art.
Oh, no way. How was that?
It was fantastic. Definitely learned like all the good technique and everything like that. So great instructor. It was in the evenings, one time a week it was 9 weeks, and worth it. Definitely worth it. Definitely improved my skills and just gave me a lot of motivation to paint on my own. So
I love that though. 9 weeks is a long time. That's awesome.
It was. There were some weeks where I was like, do I have to go? Like going, like I have to go to class, but it was totally worth it.
I love that. What was was there one subject matter? What was it? What was it about?
It was literally like watercolor 101.
Gotcha.
So learning washes and then gradients, and then we really just progressed. He was very much a landscape artist, and so he really focused on that, but dry brushing, I mean, really, and then how to kind of just blend all the elements together and using your imagination. And my favorite part though was the flowers. Like we kept pushing him to do flowers, and so that was where I kind of like just really enjoyed it the most. So.
I love that.
Yeah, it was cool. Worth it.
That's exciting. I do want to take a ceramics class in the summer with my stepkid. She loves doing art, and so she's really been wanting to do ceramics, like real ceramics instead of just the air dry clay. So I want to see what's out there that will allow us both to do it at the same time. So if you have ideas, let me know.
Well, I think UTSA School of Art, I don't know what the age limits are. I know they have kids classes, but then they have the other ones, and I don't know, but it's worth looking into. Southwest School of Art, they're fantastic right here downtown, and depending on the class, it can be a little pricey, but but it's definitely worth it. So
yeah, they're good. They're good. I took a ceramics class with them years ago. It was a long time ago, but I loved every second of it. It was just amazing. How are you guys doing? Is it okay? So I want to teach you guys a few techniques, I guess. And I guess we can probably start with the wing. So one of those techniques involves dipping the watercolor pencil into water and then using the wettened part of it to make your texture. So let me take my brush out of the water real quick. I'll go ahead and do that with the wing, because the wing, it can be anything. Like the wing, it can be a very fuzzy area, just some spot on your birdie that's a little bit darker, just to kind of test it out a little bit, see how you like it. It's a technique that I did use to darken up the edges, because no matter what color you use, once you dip it into the water, it'll become a darker color. So it just naturally does that. The water just naturally brings out the pigment. So I'll take my water and just kind of dip it in, dipping the pencil in there. And I can start out easy. This is just a little outline. This is how you can make some really intense colors. And you'll notice it doesn't go very far, but it's just enough. So just dip it in. See how you like it whenever you're outlining. Maybe I can put a bit in the back here. See that? It's very intense, but it gives such a lovely texture. So see how you like it just with the outline. And if you like it, then you can go forward and start to build the beginnings of your wing. So here's what I mean by that. It's all about texture here, okay? So the anatomy of an actual bird wing, the way the bird wing is actually structured doesn't matter so much right now. So we're just going for texture. So that means I can make all sorts of different lines in here. I can have curly lines, curvy lines, straight lines, and it would not matter. And I just keep on dipping my dipping my pencil into the water, and that's how I'm getting these beautiful thick lines. I have straight lines, and then I also have these curvy lines as well. You can also use this to shade as well if you want. I can only shade like this because I have tons of water on the end of my pencil, not brush. Sorry if I confuse you guys. Don't mean to. Now I do want to save this for some other colors, and I want to save a lot of this space for other textures. So I won't do much now, but I can always go back to it. And I want you guys to think about this as well. You guys can always go back to a certain spot, and if you think of something, then you can add it later. So I'll just add a little bit of that to the wing, and then I'll call it a day. I will set this aside because this pencil that I'm using, it's got to dry. Before I use it for any of the other marks here, I do want to let it dry. I'm going to set that aside. Now I want to show you another method of creating the wings. This is actually something that I'd started in the original as my main wings. So if you take a look at the original, you'll see that in here there's a lot of like larger feathers in here. And I did that by drawing it with orange because I know orange is going to stand out. So you can start in the middle and just start drawing a bunch of little feathers. Most of them are going to be larger in the middle here, but you are going to have some small ones here and there.
Hey, Hannah, if we're working between watercolor and pencils, how would you suggest? Would you suggest drawing over it with pencil?
Yes.
Dry? Okay.
It's got to be dry though, so that's the only thing. So yeah, that's the only thing about it. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. I want to show you though this one right here, the same technique that I'm doing here, I did with this, but just with the color pencils. So I know it's a different color, but it is the exact same technique where I drew this part first and then scribbled in the middle.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so let me continue that. Now, I find that it works to move a little bit faster with these, only because I tend to want to be too perfect with the feathers whenever I go slowly. That's just me though. That's just how I work, I guess. It's just how my brain works. So that's why I tend to like going a little bit faster. But they do get a little bit smaller, and much smaller actually, once you move further up into the face. It does get a little bit different around the eye, so I'll show you how to do the eye in a little bit. Why it's not working? Dark in here. Okay, so my regular color pencil people. So I'll do the same thing, except it'll be with the color pencil. Same thing. So here's what I mean with the watercolor pencil. Sorry, with the regular color pencil. Okay, so that area around the eye, I'm going to go ahead and take my orange and let's just color it a little bit. I'm not going to dip my pencil into the water. I don't want it to be dark. I'm just going to color around it. And that's just going to give the impression of it being a little bit more deep set into the head. Just give it a bit more of that texture. Same thing with the other eye on this side. And if you want, you can actually start to color in your beak now. If you want your beak to be orange, go ahead and just color it in with the orange. I am going to just kind of darken the outside here just so I can see it. All these lines that I made, I'm just going to darken them. So I can just color in the rest. Any questions? These birdie faces look, I just now noticing how different they look. Now, no matter which medium you're using, you can outline your birdie just to kind of like give it some shape here. Whether you're using regular color pencils or watercolor pencils, you can outline it. See that? Kind of accentuating the cheek and accentuating the neck and the back. Now, I want to go in and in this top area, the little hat, I want to start to give it another color. I use navy blue in the original. Put a little bit of texture in there. I'm actually going to go turn on my light because I can't really see much. 1 second. Okay, much better. Okay. Now, if you liked that particular technique where you dip it in the water, you're more than welcome to use it to accentuate some of the feathers back here. If you want a little bit more subtle of a technique, then you don't have to do that. And you can always put the water on top later. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by that. So I mentioned going in with like a navy blue. If I can find it, here it is. Oh, that's pink. Now I use navy blue in the original, so. There we go. Navy, or at least a dark blue. I can go in here. I can start to perhaps scribble a little bit. You can scribble in patches if you want. Because what's going to happen is I'll go over it with the water and it will spread it a bit more. Just be careful though, because once you go over with the water, you'll want to wait for it to dry again before you do anything else on top of it. So I've just put a bunch of scribbles right on top. And honestly, I'm feeling like I need to go in with a bit more black too. I feel like I'm kind of like it might overpower, the blue might overpower all that black. So I think I'll add more of the black in there. That's just for me. I don't know how yours is doing. I want to bring out more of that black. For my guy here on the right, it's the same thing, except you can't really use the water to spread anything out. You're just going to be using color pencil. And that's why I kept saying that it's just a very similar technique. I mean, the start is very different, but after that, the coloring portion, it is very similar. Only difference is that I can't use the water. I have this huge color pencil set. I love them. It's like 120 pieces and it's pretty good. I got it for Christmas, but it's a lot of colors. Like I never want to move it to like a more convenient holder, I guess. Just because there's so many and I don't want to lose track of the colors.
Hey, Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the name of the hat. It's called a crown.
Of course. Thank you. That makes so much more
while.
sense. That makes so much more sense. It's not a hat, it's a crown. Thank you.
But it's cute. I like the hat too.
Now I'll take my brush here and I'll just kind of lightly put some water on it. You see how I'm moving back and forth, trying to keep with that same texture. You might feel like you have a bit too much water. And I feel like I have too much water, so I'm just going to wipe some off. Sometimes a little bit of water goes a long way. Depends on your brand of paints, of course. Not too bad, not too bad. Okay. So I do want to show you guys all of the subtle bits of color that are in the bird. So let's see if I can share my screen or something. There you go, sharing Alexa's screen. So I want to show or point out all of the other colors that are in here. Do you see that texture on the bottom here? Where so it's the belly, the chest and the belly. Those are just lines. That's literally it. So I want you guys to choose whatever colors make you happy. Okay, that might be broad. All right. I use like a burnt umber, so like a dark brown. I'd use I want to say like a different kind of pink. I use orange. I use green. I use yellow. All kinds of different colors to create those textures. And those are literally just cross hatches. So just a bunch of lines together. So that's the texture portion of it, okay? So I want you to have fun with it. choose colors that are surprising to you, colors that you didn't really think that you should choose, but try it anyway. And you'll see even in the bird wings, I have little bits of other colors too. In fact, I even put red in there, just a little bit of red. I put a little bit of blue, probably pink, but I can't tell right there. Surprising colors, colors that you don't think are gonna go. I want you guys to use those colors. So that's what we'll do right now.
And Hannah, I made you co-host. You should be able to share.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Co-host. Now that technique that I showed you, this goes for both methods, okay? Whether or not you're using the watercolor pencils or regular color pencils. Both techniques. So just to show you how crazy you can get, I'm going to use purple. So here's the technique. Literally just up and down lines, up and down. Pick some little spots. Maybe have a few that go the opposite direction, just a few. Like that. And this was purple. And already I'm loving it. I think I had added that green just in 1 or 2 spots. So let me go and do that here. 1 or 2 spots of green. Okay, let's make that 3 or 4 spots. Just to kind of have some continuity. I'm also going to add some more of that orange, because that is what I started with anyway. So let's add some of that orange just to have some of that continuity, like I said. Spread it around. I mentioned that there was some red in my wing over here. I don't often use red. It's not really a color that I always know how to use. I don't know. See how I'm moving my lines opposite direction? They call that cross-hatching. Now I did have to press down hard in order for that color to show up. And if you're feeling brave, you can use that same technique where you can dip it in the water and see what happens. I got some red right here. I've dipped it in the water. Now it's super bright red. So have fun with it. That texture can be all yours to do what you will with it. So we're just working on texture in the body and in the wing right now. Now while you guys are doing that, I'm going to jump over to my little guy on the right side here, and I'll do the exact same thing. Same thing, just with the regular color pencils. Is anyone doing a completely different colored birdie? Anybody doing like a pink bird, purple bird, blue bird, blue bird?
This is Laura. You know I'm doing a purple bird.
Woohoo!
But I am actually doing 4 different birds because I took my piece of paper and separated it into 4 squares with tape and then decided I wasn't content with just 1 bird, so I'm doing 4 different birds.
So you're doing 4. How is that going?
I'm doing 2. So
nice.
It's a challenge, and they're definitely different kind of birds. I don't know what the birds they are.
Okay.
You're not going to find them in any bird book, I don't think.
Yeah, you're unique to your head, to your brain.
They're loosely based in reality.
Yeah. Best kind of birds. I love that. I love that you all are doing like different birds. That's great. It's fun to just kind of like jump around and see what works for one bird and what can you do for all of them if that works for you. Now for me, whoops, need my sharpener.
Man, I don't know how anybody's doing more than one bird because I'm behind on just the one. So the little feathers in the middle, the little U shapes that go around yeah. Did you dip the pencil in the water for those?
No. No, those are
You just
just
drew them in.
yeah, they're dry.
Okay.
Yeah, and
And
you
at
can.
this point, you have not watered over them. You only watered the yellow that was the background.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
used that water to just spread all the yellow, and that was it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me know if you need me to repeat anything else. I'm happy to do that. Oops. Oh man, my colored pencil keeps breaking. Oh, Amber, I wanted to mention, since Amber's also in San Antonio, the cafe, or not the cafe, the coffee shop that I went to, if you like coffee shops, it's called Spin. And it's like a vinyl records, like music themed.
Awesome.
Yeah, music
I
themed
was
coffee
gonna
shop.
ask. I was like, I wonder which one it was. I've never heard
Yeah.
of that though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I went to it for the first time whenever I made this, like last week.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen it before, but you walk in and there's vinyls, like an entire record collection as you
that's
walk
cool.
in, and then also a little bit on the left side too. But they've got murals everywhere, and it's just very, very spacious and really cool and retro looking.
Oh, I like that.
So
I'll have to go check it out.
And
yeah.
if you go, look for her picture.
I was gonna say I'm gonna find it framed on the wall.
I know. I should look on their Instagram to see if they've put a call out. Does anyone recognize this bird? Yeah, if you go, look for a birdie.
I will. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Hannah, I have been, for whatever reason, the algorithm overlords have been putting a lot of multiple sclerosis type of advertisements on all of my feeds, and I keep seeing you.
You see me? That's amazing.
I love it. I love it.
I love that. I wonder which ones you're seeing. I mean, I know
they're Ochrevis.
Yeah. I know they're Ochrevis, but I know there's
you're
a few
doing
out there.
like pictures. It looks like you're at like some kind of Mexican market, or there's a guy with you. Is that your husband or just another actor?
No, that's Junior. That's my boyfriend.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so that must be they had asked me to send them pictures of a place around my home that just makes me feel like I'm closer to my culture. And so yeah, the flea market, I'm gonna take pictures at the flea market.
That's it. Yes.
Yep. Oh, I love that. I don't think I've seen that one yet.
I saw your crevice one.
Oh, very cool.
On Insta.
Like that. I love that.
And then on MSAA, I saw your profile with your artwork.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, my artwork. Yeah, I encourage all of you guys who have MS to send in your artwork to them so that they can display it. They're really good at that. Yeah, they're I think who was it? I forgot to mention, I should have mentioned last month, but the MS Foundation, I recently had a little interview with them, and so the MS Foundation is gonna put like a little article of me about me, like my MS journey and art and stuff, in their next magazine. So I think that should come out pretty soon. I don't know when exactly.
That's awesome.
I know, so cool. They asked me to talk about
So
art.
one of my girlfriends just started a local, it's a local online publication about, about again, just the Outer Banks. And it's called The Outer Banks Life. And she's going to uh put an article on there, sort of like local girl goes to DC to talk to with the National MS Society
Hey, I
for
know who that is.
their public policy conference. So I'm kind of excited to be
That
featured
is
in the local rag.
That's amazing. Send that to us if it comes out. I wanna like put out a blog post on AnCan once you get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I got to meet Jennifer Digman while I was there. I think that was the highlight of my trip.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Was her husband there?
Hmm. Met Dan too,
Yeah,
yes.
that's amazing. Did you take pictures?
I have a picture of me and Jennifer. I don't know why I didn't get one with Dan.
Okay. MS brain. Sure there was a lot
Yeah,
going on.
there's that.
It's
Yeah.
okay. But that's exciting. How long were you there in DC?
3 days.
3 days. Okay.
Yeah.
I love
Quick
it.
trip, quick turnaround, difficult time.
Like was the trip itself difficult?
For me, yes.
Gotcha.
Um, I'm not a big fan of my representatives.
Did you yell at them?
I did not because I was there under the auspices of the
Oh,
National MS Society.
oh
I
yeah,
am
yeah.
begging him to have a town hall, which he refuses to do because I would like to go not associated with another organization so that I can speak my mind.
That's fair. Yeah, I get that. But he refuses to do it. A whole nother
I
can of worms right there.
I just got invited to
No,
go to
he
this.
absolutely offended me beyond belief. Like he told me that, he knows and understands what I'm going through because he had a brain tumor which was removed along with a part of his brain. And so now he has to take a whole whopping 2 pills twice a day for the rest of his life.
I hope you get that town hall. I
Yeah.
do. I think yeah, you need that town hall for sure.
What were you going to say, Elizabeth?
Yeah, Elizabeth.
I'm just glad to hear about your experience because I got asked for the first time to go to the State Action Day in California to talk to some state representatives for the MS Society, and I've never been before, so I don't know
Exciting
what
too.
it's going to be like.
That's exciting
So
too,
I have
though.
been doing, Elizabeth, my
Uh-huh.
State Action Day for
Uh-huh.
years.
Oh yeah.
And um, I'm guessing in California you'll have more receptive representation than I do.
Mhm.
Um, so that should be a more pleasant experience for you. But even if it's not a super pleasant experience, I still think it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
Um, very important work to have people with MS really going to and explaining their stories to every representative that there is in this entire country, just to, if nothing else, spread the word of what MS is and how it affects people. And that could be said for any disease. I mean,
Yeah,
MS or what,
any disease,
cancer or
yeah.
whatever.
Okay, guys, sorry, sorry, we can continue that after this. I want to show you guys how to do the background. Even if you're not finished with the actual texture inside your birdie, that's okay. You can always come back to it. So the background, this is how, I'm trying to think of how to do it. So for the background on the original picture.
I think I can do anything else.
On the original picture, I chose, let's say 3 colors. There might be 4 colors in there, but at least 3 colors. And I scribbled in the background. So, well, I shouldn't say scribble. I made some lines in the background, but like kept scribbling, but in a certain direction. That's a better way to put it. So let me show you.
Controlled scribbling, Hannah?
Yeah, it's kind of controlled scribbling, but honestly, the background can be any kind of texture you want. The only thing we're thinking about is wide bits of color that cover a lot of space. That's the only important thing. Cover a lot of space. Oops, trying to move this out of the way. Okay, so I was trying to show you the actual picture. Here we go. So do you guys see those lines that kind of move towards the bird in the center? That's kind of what I had started with, but you don't have to have it all moving the same direction. You don't have to have it all, it doesn't have to be the same, okay? Whatever works for you, whatever is more fun for you. I created these, or I put these colors in patches, okay? And I started off by pressing down lightly, but in some areas I did press down a little bit more dark, because the more I press down, that's the more color that I can get. So here is this one. Now let me choose different colors just to make it a little bit more interesting. What did I do? Kind of blue. So I had originally started out by making my lines move towards the birdie. But again, you don't have to do it that way. And notice how my lines don't always touch. Like, they're not perfect scribbles. You can jump around with them if you want. Because again, this is watercolor pencil, so that water is going to melt it together. So there's my first color. Some of this is lightly-ish scribbled, some of it a bit darker than others. The only important part is that we want to put all that color in there first before we put the water on top of it, because that water, once you put the water on top, you're going to have to wait for it to dry before you do anything else on top. Now I got blue. Maybe I'll do green. Yeah, green is a nice color that works very well with blue. And just to make things go a little bit faster, I'm just kind of quickly pushing my pencil down to the side. Not saying you have to color this quickly, you definitely don't. I'm only coloring faster because I have another one to help paint too. So for my birdie on the right here, this guy, I would start with maybe putting a bit of water on there first. So what I did for this one right here, see these patches? That's an idea. If you are using only watercolors, this is an idea for you. You can put little patches like this using the water. So again, that's if you're using the watercolor paints. So let's say that is what I want to do. I can paint with water. Paint just with water first. Amber, is there a name for this technique where you paint with the water first and then you put the paint on top of it?
It's funny because that's exactly what I'm doing, and
oh, yeah.
I'm trying to remember if that is. I mean, I know I'm sure he call it something.
Wet on wet?
I guess it could be a form of wet on wet. Actually, yeah, it probably is wet on wet.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm kind of coming in and then I'm splotching into the water kind of base. Yeah, I'm doing that.
Like that? Oh, okay. I love this technique.
Me too.
Sorry about my voice, guys. In case you didn't know, I'm still kind of recovering from pneumonia that I'd gotten like, I don't know, a month or two ago, something like that. So every once in a while, the I don't know, the phlegm, I guess, comes back.
Not to mention it's springtime with those lovely allergies that come along with it.
Love those things. Yeah, all the oak pollen is out right now. So in case you guys are wondering what I'm doing here, that water is what helps it to become splotchy. See that? It helps it to spread out. Now I am using not watercolor paper, it's like a mixed media paper. So it'll hold some water. Not a ton though. But just a little idea, just in case you want to do something like that, if you are using the watercolor paints. Splotchiness. Okay. So for those of you guys who are ready to put water on your watercolor pencils, so this guy on the left here, of course, make sure your brush is clean. I just used it. And then you'll take your water. And then you'll move with your brush strokes, although sometimes you might have to change course a little bit, but for the most part, you can move with your brush strokes. And I'm going to try to keep some of these colors or some of these patches a little bit separate, but the beauty of watercolors is that that water is going to blend a lot of that together. So I'm going to try to, again, maybe keep some of these brush strokes separate as much as I can, and staying or keeping, I guess, within these little lanes, so to speak. It definitely helps. See how I'm moving up and down, moving with those brush strokes. And you might have to, again, move around your birdie and just kind of break the course or do something a little different, but that's okay. And if you happen to get some watercolors inside of the birdie, that is also okay, and vice versa, because it is watercolor. It looks so lovely when some of these brush strokes just kind of meld together. I am using a lot of water. And that's how I'm able to smooth it out much more smoothly. Now, I feel like for me, I need to add a little bit more blue just because it just feels like it needs more. So I'm going to add more down here. There we go. Didn't really take too much. And again, I'm moving with my brush strokes. There we go. Now I mentioned the use of the pen, or not the pen, the Sharpie marker. And for me, again, I have that extra thin one, so it's the really thin one. We'll have to use that after it's finished drying in the background. So while that's drying, we can go ahead and work on the little birdie eye. If you want to do that. So I'll start with blue, and then I can add black on top of that to really darken it. See that? I never like to use just black for the eyes because I know I can use black for the darkest parts of the eye. Just makes it I don't know, just feels like it's a little bit more realistic that way. Now, if I could find it, there it is. Now, it's up to you if you want to put paint on top, or not paint, if you want to put water on top of it. But for me, I feel like it looks good. It looks fine the way it is, so I don't want water on top. Did feel like that needed a bit more, though. Let's see, same with my other little guy over here. Need some black right here. I think what I'll do is maybe outline the beak. So in the original picture, I'm pretty sure I outlined all my lines on the beak. Here it is. Yep, I outlined it in black, but it looks like I also put a little bit of brown in there too. So it's orange and brown and black. But you don't have to go into that much detail. Sometimes when I'm just focused on these pictures, I go overboard. Okay, so you don't have to do things that way.
Hannah.
Uh-huh.
I'm done.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon.
It's not very good.
Let me see. Oh, your birdie. I love him.
Thanks, Sharon.
Your bird
I
is,
know.
your bird
It looks
is
like
so
an
cute.
I love him. I think he needs a name.
You're better than what I could do.
Is that you, Suraj? Oh, there you are. I love it. You did good.
Anyway, that was fun. I'm going to have to do it again and maybe do it better.
Hey, show us. Show me anyway.
I will. All right. Good night.
Good night, Sharon. Oh, Marianne, I see you too. I didn't even realize it was already 8:30.
No, it's 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30 for you guys. Oh, I love it. It looks like a little fall themed birdie because I feel like the wing almost looks like it resembles a leaf a little bit.
I want to give the birdie a hug.
I know, he's cute.
Fat birdie, but he's good.
And your background's really nice too.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Marianne.
Have a good night.
Good night. Man, crazy. Time just flew. Anyone else?
This is the beauty of being in Seattle. It's only 6:30.
Yeah, see, that's a Pacific Coast time, man. Ooh, there you are, Dia. I love her. That background is gorgeous too. I feel like you're pretty good at choosing the colors. Like I love the textures too. And your birdie, it looks like a cute little Easter chickie.
Such a friendly bird.
I know. Super cute. Thank you. I love it.
My guy, he kind of went all over the place, but Dia said it looked like a cherry blossom tree, so then I drew some branches.
Wow. Seriously, the branches, they did so good. Honestly, the branches really bring it together.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I love it. And your birdie's so cute.
And I totally, we just used printer paper, and I found some other paper now, so I'm doing one more.
Oh, nice, nice. I'd love to see it. I should have mentioned earlier, Elizabeth came to come see me in San Antonio. It's been a few weeks now.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Yeah, now I've recovered because I think that everybody's getting this similar cold.
Yeah.
Because my parents are in North Carolina and I can hear that what they have sounds just like what I had.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's tons of mucus coming up, and then I'm over it, but it still comes back.
And I know that the allergies from San Antonio did not help. It's very, very allergy ridden here.
Yeah, it's one of the top 10 worst.
It is, yeah.
I had a lot of fun visiting you, though.
Yeah, it was super fun to get to see the Riverwalk a little bit, and we relaxed at one of the restaurants. What is it called? It's called Elsewhere. It's a really nice, cute little restaurant there on the Riverwalk.
I love Elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's such a good one. Did you sit in the swings or the hammocks?
No,
we were trying to get a place in the swings.
We were eyeing people. We were like vultures.
Like me mugging them, like, get out.
Yeah.
We were so close, but we didn't move fast enough, and somebody else got it first.
I know. It was fun though. It was a lot of fun.
You want to show yours, Suresh?
Well, I'm still doing it.
Okay. Now I do want to mention the black lines, okay? I want to mention my thought process that went into the black lines. So let me just pin this again. Okay. Literally just little lines and swirls, like little, not swirls, what do you call them? Loop-de-loos, I guess, that run horizontally along the background. So I'm just going to call them loop-de-loos and cross hatches and dots. That's all that is. So let me go ahead and demonstrate the loop-de-loos first, I guess. So it's good. It's pretty dry. I feel like I can do this now.
Because like up there, I need to put some lines too.
Oh, Marcy, I didn't know you were there. Hooray. Okay, so the little lines here. Pick a spot. Sure, if you want to. Let me do some loop-de-loops real quick. See that? My issue whenever I'm doing things like this is that I tend to make them the same, like they're spaced apart very neatly, too neatly for my taste specifically, but if that works for you, then that's amazing. But little loop-de-loos, that's all that is. And then cross hatches. There are also some cross hatches in the feathers too, so I completely forgot to point that out. So just a few in the feathers, same thing that you did earlier. And then also dots. So the dots, those just serve to make a more interesting texture. See that? They just kind of separate some spaces, make some other spaces seem more interesting. Dots. And actually, I even have some dots in the feathers too. So not super important, but they are there. Put some in here in the face, so some dots in the face. Dots in the feathers. Dots in the background. Just makes things a whole lot more interesting with just those three textures. Okay. Now I can keep going. I can keep adding different textures, keep adding more of the same textures, but I want to give the spotlight to anybody else. Marcy, do you want to show us? There we go. Oh, you made a big one.
Wow.
Wow. I love it.
These birdies are so cute.
I know. Your bird looks like a very regal owl. Like he's just very dignified. I feel like maybe he's the gatekeeper of knowledge. Maybe he's guarding a library. I don't know if you knew this. Oh, there we go.
I was on mute, sorry.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna mention. But I love it though.
I got a late start, so trying to just rush it, you know.
That's an amazing late start.
Thank you.
Seriously. Oh, Karen's here too.
Here
Yay.
are my two. Oh gosh.
Okay, Meg, yes.
Oh, the blur makes it. Hold on.
I know.
I turn out the blur and you're gonna
in the
see how
witness
bad
protection program.
Oh, there's my puppies.
We're all gonna judge.
Oh.
Okay, so top one.
Wow, look at
And
that.
bottom one.
I know.
The background's all still wet, so I'm not ready to put more black lines in there, but here we go.
Man, there's just something about I love how the top one just stands out. Like I feel like the birdie has so much personality.
Yeah, I liked it.
I love it. Thank you for sharing.
This is fun.
Awesome. Who's next? Karen. Hey, Karen.
I told you I couldn't come. I know Alexa likes to see, my people. They were here. They just left. I had work done at home, and Alexa always goes, "I love to see." You're having too much fun. But I thought I would chime in just to go. All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, tweet, tweet. Rockin' Robin, go rockin' Robin, 'cause you're really gonna rock tonight.
Woohoo, Karen!
Let's go.
Love it.
I'll have to watch the movie.
To
make my own.
Some of these can be pretty long. Yeah. Is your contractor still there?
No, they finished up today, and we didn't eat until we usually eat together. I didn't eat until 5 o'clock, and they hadn't eaten all day, so it was
that's
amazing. His wife sends food for me, and I said, well, I don't really have anything, and we still I made cornbread, and then I had frijoles that I made. We just have a good time.
Oh, that's so cool.
Everybody's nightmare, a contractor, but we hug and kiss goodbye. Oh,
yeah, you guys, I know you guys are good friends. I love that. I'm glad you can make it, Karen.
Well, I thought I would just sing that about all the little birdies on Jaybird Street.
Who else wants to share?
And there's Elizabeth and Daya.
All right, Hannah. I think I was doing really well until I put the squigglies into the little feathers in the bird. So
oh
wow. I feel
so then I put the water over it, over this part, and I feel it, I don't know, then it's not. But anyway.
It looks like it kind of ran together, but at least since you're using the watercolor pencils, once it dries, you can go over it again. You can just draw on top of it again, just the same kind of patterns and stuff, and just don't put water on top of it. So you can define it all.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I so love your birdie.
But it also looks like, if it rained, the feathers got wet, and it doesn't look, if you don't know what you were going for.
So you know what though, that gives me an idea. This birdie is part of some other dimension, and its feathers, that's just what happens to its feathers when it rains, and just got rained on. And he has thoughts. Your birdie has thoughts. I can see it in his face.
Almost looks like purple rain fluffing up or smudging up his feathers.
There you go.
There he is.
See, I always name my paintings, and I would call that purple rain with something with the birds, or even just purple rain.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the aurora borealis.
Oh, see, I like that one too. But if the aurora borealis were closer to Earth, that's what it would look like.
Apparently, it is this week.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I saw in the news, they said if you live in, I don't know where,
I've got an app on my phone because every now and then in Seattle we get it. I saw it this summer.
And Hannah, your
love to see
colors,
that.
your yellow bird with your blue hair. Yellow bird.
I intentionally matched today.
Yeah,
I wanted
it's
to match
great.
my birdie today. I should have added a little blue hat to my bird. It would have been perfect.
Yeah, I know you've done pottery in the past. Have you ever heard of bubble glazing?
Yeah, it's where you use a straw and you what's it? You blow into the glaze and it creates like a bubble texture on top. Did you do that?
Yes, and so we did that technique last week,
Oh,
and I just wanted to show it to you.
yeah.
It's right here. So, so we did the bubble glazing, and this is my
So
first
pretty.
ever piece of pottery.
Oh my God, that is gorgeous.
And the back of it.
I cannot believe
And
that's your
so
first piece.
it's my first piece, and I think next time I would make this as a little flatter and maybe put some feet on the bottom of it.
Yeah.
But we learned the bubble glazing last week, and I just thought it was so cool. And she was saying that you can do it also with pastel paints.
Oh, with so pastel paints or I wonder what you could do it with. I wonder I wonder if you would mix some kind of paint with soap?
Yes, that's exactly. She did that with
okay.
I have the recipe. It's like one part underglaze, one part water and one part soap, dish soap.
Oh.
And so when you do the bubbles, you might get a little film of soap, and we literally just blew it off. And then when it goes
burns
into
off.
the kiln, it fires off.
It
But
burns, yeah.
but it was really, really fun. It was really messy, but it was really fun. And I totally thought about you when we were doing it.
Wow.
Especially when she said you can do it with pastel paints. And I was like, I have to talk to Hannah about this.
I have to figure out, I mean, because I feel like I have heard of that now. It's just so vague in my mind. I have to look it up now. Okay. Maybe we could do that sometime. Maybe we could. I love that.
Just make sure everybody has a lot of newspaper or a good drape to put down.
I know.
And strength in your hand. Andrea, but was it supposed to be something specific? Because it has the folds like the bird. I mean, it's just kind of amazing, like your two art things.
Well, so this piece was put together. So the lesson was slipping and scoring. So we took a slab of clay and used cookie cutters, which mine was just the color of a leaf, or not the color, but the shape of a leaf. And then you score it and slip it so that I turned all these different leaves into one piece of pottery. So everything sticks together.
But it so resembles the bird feathers.
That's just coincidence.
Yeah, I can see that though.
Yeah.
I want to show y'all just one more thing on this other example, and then Laura will go to you and show your piece. But whenever I was doing this other example right here, I had decided to pick some crazy colors that didn't match anything and outline it with that crazy color. So that happened to be, I think it was just purple. Yeah, I outlined it with purple, and my outline specifically just was not a perfect outline at all. So just wanted to give you an idea. Just if you wanted to do some kind of outline somewhere, that's an idea.
What do you want to see?
Laura.
Oh, wow, Laura.
I know. Look at that. You did 4 of those birdies.
I love it.
I know. And they're all so different. I feel like they all have their own personalities.
Oh, for sure. They all have a different emotion showing.
You know what? This is kind of,
they were.
It's kind of like, I feel like I'm looking at the intro to some sort of like 90s cartoon where like you see like a bunch of like action.
It's like
I don't know.
Bird
There's a lot
Power
of like,
Rangers.
yes,
These are the Bird Power Rangers.
Thank you. Bird Power Rangers, and there's
Yeah,
like
they
all
look
kinds of
powerful.
action going on in the background, and they all have their own personalities and their
And they
own
need sound effects.
powers. Yes.
And they're working, but they look like they're
Power
working, you know?
Rangers.
I love
They know what
it.
they're
Yes.
they're guardians. They're guardians of the earth. They're
I
looking around.
love it. I
If
love
you
this
need a
so
name and a
much.
backstory, I'll work on that.
They do. They do.
That blue one's name is Fred. Don't ask me why.
It's just Fred. There's not much of a backstory. It's just Fred. Go Power Bird Rangers. That's right. I love them.
They
Lori.
also
You did
look like,
such a good
to
job.
me, like the word like flower bird rangers. You know, now I'm riffing on Alexa, like the flower bird rangers. First I was thinking flower ranges. I'm like, that's not right. Flower bird rangers.
Flower Bird Rangers. The Tweety Rangers, maybe.
I like it. I like that.
Oh, I love it, guys.
Oh, I'm glad I got to.
I've
I'm glad I
added
got to
lines
see it.
now.
Oh,
So I added lines.
Yeah, you added
and
your
texture.
lines.
I like this one because I decided to go in the direction.
Yeah.
This is like windy, but I like the.
I feel like I feel like these are like 2 different moods for the same bird. Just like, oh, I got an idea at the top, and
we got sunrise and nighttime-ish.
Oh, so cute.
Where'd you get that idea from?
I just wanted to do light and dark colors.
No, you know, like this is my background.
Oh yeah. Anybody else? You don't have to share if you don't want to. Oh, Amber, I see it, Amber. Oh, there it is. There's your birdie. Oh, I love that there's some shading on there too. You're muted. I'm sure you know that.
There we go. The beak is bothering me. I could not get the beak down, but it's all good.
It's hard. I get it. It's hard, but I have to say, like, there's something about like the lines that you made. It just feels like it works for the bird.
I tried. I had to redo it. I did it with watercolor. I had to dab it all off. It was super wet. I had to redo it. So
yeah. Laura says that she feels like the beak is her favorite part of yours.
Thank you. I feel like from far away. Isn't
I love it though. Thank you guys so much. Is there anybody else? Vera?
Anyone else?
Yep.
Here we go.
One more.
Anna?
There we go. Oh,
I'm going to hold on a second.
Another bird in the witness protection program.
That's right. I'm going to unblur my background.
Man, what's these birds' backstories?
There you go. I have washi tape to make it. I wanted to make a border.
Oh, cute. That's a really nice touch to it.
So I'll take the washi tape off and it'll be like a white border. But I think I'm going to go back with most of these go back with a Q-tip, a wet Q-tip, and get closer because I couldn't quite get closer to some of these, like closer to the bird.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Like you couldn't really get the lines too close to it.
My hands weren't quite cooperating with me today, so I'll go back tomorrow when my hands are hopefully working a little better.
Yeah. It looks really good though.
It was fun. And I couldn't do the beak either. Like it's off. Like, so I'm going to fix that too. Like his crown, like comes to a point and then his beak is off. He's a little delele, a little off. And then he has this tiny little eye. So I'll
I love him though. There's something about the way that you did the texture in the background, like the black lines in the background. I love the way you drew them too. Just want to mention
That
that.
was fun. That was the fun part, I think. Like the squiggly lines. I mean, it was all fun, but I like stuff like that.
Yeah, more squiggly lines. Okay.
Go ahead.
I love it, guys.
Anyone else?
Yeah, did we miss anyone?
Suraj did his own creation.
Yeah.
Not bird. But this is my second bird.
Aww.
I don't know, I just really like doing random splotches on the background.
Yeah.
Suraj, you want to show?
Yeah, can we see it?
Can you show? It's a nice picture.
Pretty please.
Set up.
Oh,
cute little baby.
Awesome.
Reminds me of my cat Callie.
Oh,
super cute.
Is it Goldie?
No, I just drew a random dog.
Oh, just
nice.
a
I know. It reminds me of my little dog that I had.
Oh.
We see what we see.
Mm-hmm.
Great artist. I love it.
Great job, everyone.
Yay. Well,
thank you.
Do we have any announcements or anything?
Do we?
And that's a trick question because we do.
Okay.
You'll think about that, but we got Marcy.
I added. He looked too bare. It looked too bare.
See, I love that you added that. It's a nice. It's There's a better word for nice. I feel like it's an elegant touch.
Very elegant.
Yes, very elegant touch.
It was bare, right? It looked too bare. It needed something.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't feel like it needed something initially, but now that you have that something in there, like that's what it needed.
Thanks.
Alexa, what's the announcement?
The announcement is you can see Hannah Garrison next Wednesday on Solo Arts Heal with a fantastic guest that especially if you love animals and dogs, you're going to want to see that show.
Yes. So I will be interviewing.
The information in the follow-up email.
Yes. Yes. I will be doing the interview.
But tell us who you're going to interview.
Well, his name is John Bartlett, and he's a fashion designer, and he's a pretty amazing person. So he's a fashion designer, but he also works with dogs, and he also makes quilts. There's a lot that goes into his backstory. So if you want to hear more, tune in next week.
All right. Thank you, Hannah, and thank you, everyone, so very much. We will see you next month, and as always, we'll keep you posted. Woohoo!
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you for coming.